Ladies and gentlemen, Violent Games here, coming at you with another Dishonored 2 build. I just want to forewarn you before we get into this. I am not a professional YouTuber. I am not a full-time YouTuber. My speech pattern is going to be fucking weird. Okay? And yeah, stuff. So, without further ado, I'd like to get into this build. And how do I describe Corvo Infestation build? Basically, you're going to summon a lot of shit that is going to wreck everything. And if I had to give it a frame of reference to, my previous builds, Corvo's Infestation build is like Emily's doppelganger build on bath salts, Adderall, and cocaine. It is absolutely fucking overpowered, brilliant, and beautiful. You will clear buildings within seconds. Like, literally, I was getting gameplay for this. I'm like, wow, I'm clearing. They're dead. They're gone. I don't even have to do anything, but I'm gonna. It's like, it's just amazing. It's a beautiful thing. How there are two summons that you're going to utilize that synergize really well together, all within Corvo Attano's power line. And I have to say this, like, playing Corvo Attano, period, he's definitely more powerful than Emily. Emily has the more fun shit. Corvo has, like, the easy-to-use, overpowered bullshit. So, what I'm going to say before I start this build, though, like, just as a personal recommendation, do not play this as your first build because, one, it's fucking stupid, and two, to experience the full retard of this build, you should have everything unlocked for a New Game Plus profile. It's definitely more fun that way. So that's just my recommendation. You're going to do what you want, and I'm going to give you the abilities, and I'm going to give it to you as if you were playing this on a new game, not New Game Plus, anyhow, just so you have that frame of reference if you wanted it. So, with all of that out of the way, let's move on to my favorite offensive build and open combat build for Corvo Attano. So let's talk about the necessary abilities you're going to need for this build. First up, we're going to get the first rank of Reflexes. You're going to spend 1 rune on this. This is just going to help you deflect bullets so that you don't die to guns. Guns are kind of the biggest threat when it comes to open combat builds, and having Reflexes 1 is a necessity, and it's basically a clutch perk. You need to have this. Moving on to what you're going to spend your next 8 runes on. You're going to spend your next 8 runes on Devouring Swarm, and then you're also going to invest into the ranks Greater Swarm and Rat Piper. We are eventually going to pick up Twin Swarm, but not yet. Similar to the way I did the Doppelganger build, that's how I'm going to structure this build as well. You're going to basically be spamming Rat Swarms in every group fight ever and take advantage of the enemies while they are in that stun, so that your Rat Swarm can progressively move from target to target, and you can kind of just mow through mobs with minimal effort. After that, you're going to get all ranks of Shadow Kill. Now, this ability, the earlier ranks aren't going to help you, but the final rank is going to make you basically a god. It's going to allow you to basically run in and get kills while your rats are going to fucking town. And what's going to happen is every time you kill one of the enemies, blood flies are going to spawn out of their body. And they're going to also attack targets as well. So basically you're just chaining a bunch of summons together, and it's just going to cause a clusterfuck, and you're barely going to have to lift a finger. Enemies are going to die so quickly due to the ridiculous amount of damage that this build is going to put out. Because not only is the enemy taking damage from the rats, but it's taking damage from blood flies. And in big mobs, those blood flies stack and stack and stack and stack. And it's just fucking ridiculous. And your rats just keep going. And if you run out of rats, summon more fucking rats. And hey, there's a Bonecharm that's gonna make this even more retarded, and we're gonna get into that as well. It's fucking awesome. I can't, like, you guys don't understand how retarded this build is. It's pants on head retarded. It is just, I can't even guide right now. So moving on, you're going to get Bonecharm Crafting and Trait Synergy. You're going to be spending 4 runes on this because all of the other ranks are superfluous, given that you can just save scum your way to get the best Bonecharm effects that you get. So basically, you save scum so that you either get a negative effect that doesn't affect your build, like say choking enemy out slower. That's a negative effect that's not going to impact you. Or you get no negative effects at all. You're not going to need any of the other ranks until the end of the game. Though, go ahead and get all the ranks if you are on New Game Plus. That I shouldn't have to tell you to do that. Fucking do that if you're special. So, I do want to give you some Bonecharm recommendations real quick. Bonecharms that are absolutely fucking ridiculous for this build, and I'm going to leave some open slots for you so you can kind of mix and match whatever you want. I personally like Zephyr, but it's not OP for this build. So let's talk about these Bonecharms really quick. Blood Sacrifice is really great because killing rats and bloodfly gives you more health. When you upgrade this ×4, you can literally just swing your sword wildly into your swarms, and you're gonna have unlimited health. Like, literally, you will not die if you have this Bonecharm. It is fucking ridiculous. Next up, we're gonna get Ground Glider, so that when you summon a swarm onto an enemy, you can sprint towards that enemy and have a quick slide into a straight execution. Having that fast glide causes that animation, that instant kill animation, to check way more often than it honestly should, and it's kind of ridiculous and probably an overlooked Bonecharm in my opinion. Next up, we're gonna have Spiritual Sacrifice. Killing rats and bloodflies gives you mana. So you're going to have unlimited mana and unlimited health throughout the entire playthrough, to where health potions and mana potions aren't even fucking necessary. It is absolutely beautiful if you get these Bonecharms, guys. I cannot stress that enough. Another reason why I recommend New Game Plus is because you have a bigger chance of already having these. Next up, you're going to want to use Synergetic Swarm. Your swarms last longer. Cool. More obnoxious bullshit. Then you're going to get Whirlwind, and you're not going to want to combo this with Power Slash. I've recommended this for my Doppelganger build. It is not necessary for this build because you're going to want to swing your sword as fast as possible so you can kill your own bloodflies and rats during combat, so that you can constantly siphon more and more health and mana. Next up, you're going to want Leech Cuts. That's a black Bonecharm, and it's going to allow you, with each kill and assassination, you get even more health. So basically, even if people are pelting you with bullets, you can just keep swinging your sword and just get more and more health and potentially never die ever. It's pretty fucking awesome. And then finally, the last recommended Bonecharm that I can do is Undying Swarm. This is the absolute most broken fucking black Bonecharm maybe in the game ever. It makes your rat swarms immune to death. Literally, if the enemy starts killing off your swarm will continue to respawn. And not only that, but you can continue to kill your swarm yourself, so that you're constantly getting health and mana from those previous two Bonecharms. So literally, you can summon your rats whenever you want and just murder the fuck out of them, and they're never going to go away because of this Bonecharm. It is completely overpowered. If you get this black Bonecharm, you will become unstoppable with this build. Nothing can fucking stop you. There is no mob in the game, there is no enemy in the game that this build does not shred through effortlessly, in the most amusing way possible, including your frame rate. Your frame rate can't even stand up to this fucking build sometimes because of the amount of shit that's happening. God, it's beautiful. Anyways, let me grab my other piece of paper. After you get Bonecharm Crafting and Trait Synergy, you're going to want to get all ranks of Agility. This is just going to help you enter combat faster. It's going to allow you to get into glide kills easier on top of Ground Glider. And you're going to be able to throw yourself around the map cavalierly. And with Catfall, that rank, you're not ever going to die from fall damage. It's just a nice utility. I overlooked it. I think it's a really good utility to have, especially if you're trying to have fun. Next up, you're going to get, from the Reflexes perk tree, you're going to want to get Adept, Parry, and Superior Deflection. This is going to cost 3 runes. After this, you're going to want to spend your additional 3 runes into Twin Swarms. And at the end of that, guys, you can pretty much do whatever you want. I recommend go ahead and getting a lot of the things for Blink, because Blink is actually a very, very good mobility skill, and it's very nice to have. I know I use it all the time. I'm probably using it in this guide as we speak. So definitely pick up the Blink, and also get Vitality if you really have nothing else to spend your runes on. Those are just my recommendations. Also with Twin Swarms, the build is more stupid. You can summon even more. It's beautiful. It's amazing. So let's move on to resources, shall we? When it comes to your resources, in terms of upgrades, you're going to want to get all of the pistol upgrades, and really nothing else is ever needed. The only other utility you're going to need, basically on your hotkey, you're going to have Devouring Swarm, blink, pistol, and then the heart so you can track down bone charms and runes. That's what you're going to want to have on your hotkey. Nothing else in the game is absolutely necessary. You can get through any mob with just these tools. It's literally an all-in-one build. You barely ever have to go into your quick slots unless you want to throw a grenade for no reason, really, because it's not fucking necessary. But you can do it. And afterwards, if you have a bunch of money left over, go ahead and get the crossbow upgrades as well. I'll let you decide how you want to upgrade it. Basically, you're going to turn your pistol into a shotgun, and I'll explain that a bit in a second. But if you want a ranged weapon option, which you don't fucking need, you can get the crossbow upgrades if you necessarily want to get it. That's just a side note. Now, when it comes to consumables, you basically are going to buy fuck all, because you're not going to need anything. The pistol has enough ammo lying around 9 times out of 10 to where you're not going to need any. But if you want to buy mana potions or health potions because maybe you suck at the game for some reason, then you can definitely do so. But with this build, especially with the optimized bone charms, not going to be necessary. You can frivolously spend money on whatever the fuck you want, like explosive pistol rounds if you want to. It's just not at all necessary, like I said. And now let's talk about Masterwork upgrades. First off, with your pistol, you're going to want to get Crimson Painter. This is going to turn your pistol into a shotgun, and you're basically going to one-shot everything in the game and two-shot Clockwork Soldiers. It's fucking retarded. Like, Crimson Painter on Corvo's pistol absolutely is far superior than Insistent Gentleman on Emily's pistol. It's like they gave Corvo every ass-beating tool necessary in the game. And to be honest, I think Corvo's just fucking OP compared to Emily Caldwin at this point. I really can't stress that enough. For your sword, you're going to want to get Occult Kiss. For all open combat builds, guys, you're going to want to have Occult Kiss over the wrench, what's it called? Monkey Wrench sword ability. Because killing Clockwork Soldiers takes 2 shots with your pistol. You have an ammunition reserve of 20 when you upgrade your kit. You will never need to... Clock Soldiers are going to fall down easily. You're going to see it in as I'm talking, really. It's just fucking redonkulous. And then for your outfit, guys, you're going to want to get Collector's Carapace. Again, kind of a necessary Masterwork upgrade for any open combat build. You're going to take less damage. And to be honest, you don't... It's like, you're already fucking God, so I mean, why not be even more of a god? Like, Dishonored, no, you're not overpowered enough, goddammit. You're not overpowered enough. The Outsider gave you a nuke, and his name is Corvo Otano. Oh my god, you guys, you're gonna have so much fun with this build. Anyways, guys, that's all I really have for you. I kind of got through this a lot quicker than I thought I was going to. I have way too much game. There's editing's gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for that shit.
Oh my god!
It's gonna be fun. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. This is Violin Games, Swine and Wath.
It's a long way down. Destroy one of the clockworks before it could activate. Clever or lucky. You're too good at destroying my pieces. Each one costs a fortune, you know. You're quite close now. I can't remember any other visitor getting so far. Do you feel pride? Anticipation? Was that your explosive that just went off, or one of my clockworks? A stranger marches into my home and promptly begins blowing everything to bits. How rude.
Watch this Karen Jindosh.